Hi, everyone. It's good to see you today, and I can't wait to hear from all of you again because the feedback yesterday was just amazing. And this is day two of Facebook Live and Learning to Thrive. I am thrilled to be able to talk with you, share with you some insights, and to also let you know that you're not alone. And I know for a lot of you, you may be home and your homes are just you, maybe an animal, maybe not. And you may be going kind of stir crazy. Some of the things that can really help being less, I don't know, overwhelmed in like kind of being surrounded by four walls, especially if maybe you're in a studio, maybe you're in New York City and parks are closed now, is to create a schedule for yourself. And that's a schedule that you can actually rely on. Like, don't just sleep until noon to see my Facebook Live. Just kidding. I really want you to set a timeline for your day. What we know about timelines, what we know about rituals, is they actually keep our brains stimulated. They actually keep us awake and alive in a way that when we don't have a schedule, time just, I don't know, like it seems to just fly. So, for example, this Sunday, I don't know what happened to the day. Like before I knew it, it was 7 p.m. and I'd done nothing. And that's when I realized, oh, you know what? I'm setting the stage here for my brain to start to play tricks with me. And you know, when the brain starts to play tricks, you know what it does? It says, oh my God, you're really anxious. Oh my God, you can't breathe. Oh my God, you're feeling down and depressed and alone and scared. And you keep feeding yourself. But when you create a schedule for your day, when you get dressed, force yourself to take a shower, force yourself, women, if you put on makeup, even if you've got nowhere to go, do it for yourself. Guys, okay, so don't put on a tie. That's probably a little much. And who wears a tie these days anyway? But put on a nice pair of khakis or put on a cool shirt for you, for you. Now, I am thinking that this is a time that is a just because time. Like, I'm going to clean that closet just because. Or I'm going to look at cookbooks or I'm going to look online. Now, I'm a cookbook girl. I don't know about you guys, but I love to cook. So, okay, so going to the grocery store may be difficult. Order online if you can. If not, and you're healthy, make a very quick jaunt, protect yourselves, of course, to the grocery store and buy some great things from a recipe and go home and cook and make yourself a delicious meal, especially if you're on your own. This is a way to take care of you. And you're going to find ways to take care of you that maybe you never even thought of before. Yesterday, we talked about a breath exercise. I've gotten a lot of responses that breathing really helped. So I'd like to offer that you continue to do that breathing exercise. And now let's add, we're going to make a schedule. We're going to plan out our day when you chat with friends, when you exercise, and exercise is going to keep your brain really flexible, really mobile. That's a good thing because the brain can shut down. The brain can say, no, I'm not going there. And when I say it shuts down, it's like you're not feeding it. And our brains are hungry. They're hungry to socialize if you're an extrovert, or to they're hungry to communicate because by nature we're communicators. By nature we need to I don't know, just have one or two people we talk to in a day. You know, when babies aren't touched, they fail to thrive. So even if you're an ambivert, which is kind of going between an extrovert and an introvert, or you're a true introvert, like this is not such a hard time for you, we still do need to be touched wherever we are on that scale. So right now, obviously, keeping social distance is important, but there's a lot of ways that we can reach out and be touched via the internet. And that's finding our people, finding things that we can laugh at, sharing. I don't know, there was this really funny YouTube dog bit where the dog is talking and swearing and saying, I can't wait to get home. I can't wait for all of my people to leave and I can now have my roost again. And it was hilarious. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it made me howl. I just laughed right out loud. So one of the things I know as part of my schedule is I share something funny with friends and family. And then I get a response. And it is really wonderful. It's like you reach out, you get a response. I'm also making timed interactions. I'm not going to stay on for too long because it can get a little much, but I'm going to spend 10 or 15 minutes with a good friend, either through Zoom or through FaceTime or, even, I don't know, there are chat rooms as well, so you can join a chat room. The idea here is don't fail to thrive. We're going to teach you, and all the feedback that I get, this is about thriving. So let's talk about that schedule that I started with. The schedule is you're going to get up in the morning, you're going to shower, you're going to do your rituals. Maybe spend some time, and I'm not going to use the word meditate, but how about just doing some breath work? How about grounding yourself? How about listening to a great jam on, on a podcast that you like? And make that as part of moving the brain, moving and existing with your body, your mind, and your spirit. This is a time of creation for you, and creativity, and humor. We've got to find the funny things. So you know that you create your day. You know that you're going to have lunch, maybe have a nourishing soup. These are the ways that you can treat yourself well. Now, if you've got your kids at home, and this was an unexpected moment in time where now you were going to have to be, I don't know, mother at home, father at home, kids at home, and no one exactly knows what to do in this strange arena that we're in, give everybody a role. Give everybody the tasks, things for them to do, because those tasks make us feel important. Those tasks give us something to do during the course of our day. So for your kids, if they are computer literate, which if they're of an age, I'm sure they are, then have them find something funny online and share it with the family. Have them find a recipe that maybe they'd like to make, whether it's cookies or oatmeal or, I don't know, a cake or something really funky like making Play-Doh out of flour, especially if you haven't had time to go to the store and get some things where your kids can be creative. This is also a time where the family gets to gather, and maybe you get to sit down with your kids and have meals. Maybe you get to co-create a meal, and it's a task that you're all doing. And what do these tasks do? Well, believe it or not, when we're in this state of being right now, we're quarantined, we need to be staying low, we get to find our most creative selves if we dare. And these creative selves help to deal with the grief that we're all feeling. And I know you're feeling it. I feel it too. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Many, many years ago, when I was in my mid-20s, I was completely agoraphobic, which means that I couldn't walk outside my front door. I was, in a way, quarantined from the world. It was my own anxiety, it was my own fear, and it was riveting, and it took my life away from me. And being quarantined now reminds me of that time when even walking down a flight of stairs was hard. And there's grief there. What it also, though, did for me was it put me into a position where I had to rethink my life. And that's when I decided I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to figure out a way to get to school. And it was also a time when I started to learn pottery. So there was a pottery, store and studio 3 blocks from my house. And it took every ounce of courage for me to walk outside my front door and get to that studio. But that studio became a lifesaver in the grief of my anxiety and of my phobias. I want you to understand that pottery became so much more. And I want you to find your own pottery, if you will, your own self-studio at home with yourself, with your kids, with your partners. And you have a chance now to be in discovery and to be curious about the way that grief comes in, about the way that you can dance with yourself and dance with your kids and dance with your partners and dance with your friends in ways you never imagined. And this opportunity of creating schedules, creating tasks, and making you and your family members number one. And it's a really exciting time. Let me go back to my phobia story. Would I wish phobias on anyone? No. But was it a life changer for me in so many ways? Yes. And the things that we must face with grit and with courage are the very things that ultimately help us to thrive. So this is my challenge to you. I'd like you to write out a schedule for yourselves. And I want you to message me. Let me know what your schedule is and what you're going to do today to make this day full for you. If you're working at home, great. It doesn't mean you can't take a creative or laughter break. Share it around. And the more we share, the less lonely we are. And even though we're socially alone, we are actually socially engaged, maybe more than we've ever been. So if you want to get a reminder that Facebook Live is going to happen for you tomorrow at noon with me, and we get to share stories, at the end of this, there's going to be a link, and just press that link and then you'll be reminded. So I wish you happy tasking today. Find your laughter, find your tasks, and remember, you are the most important person in this journey. And not only that, as you learn about yourself, you learn about your yearning, you'll learn about your grief, and you'll learn about who you really are. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. I may not see you but I'm feeling you. Have a good one, and you make it a good one.